It's Cooking with the Rube time. I'm glad to be back here, and today I have a special guest and also the first female chef on the show. And today I have my friend Brandy Miser here, and she'll tell you what we're gonna cook, but Brandy owns Yoga 10 in Dexter, Missouri, and her favorite thing is yoga. So I'm glad to have her here, and Brandy, hope you tell the folks what we're gonna do today.
Well, thank you. Go ahead.
And I'm the sous chef today. I'm not the chef, I'm the sous chef, so I'm doing whatever Brandy tells me to do. So it's all to Brandy.
I am honored to be here, thank you. And I will just make one clarification. I am not a chef, I am just a home cook that is a enthusiastic enjoyer of all these things. Today, we are going to make some of my favorite things, the things that we have very frequently at my house, so I'm very comfortable sharing these recipes with you. We are going to start with a beautiful kale salad, and we are going to have a main course of a butternut squash risotto, and we are going to have a light dessert of carrot truffles. So that's where we are going today.
Well, hey, that's great, because this is something I know nothing about. It's well, you said a plant-based food, but it's more of a vegetarian type food.
Right.
And it's a specialty she likes to do. So I'm all anxious to learn about the food that we're going to eat today. So where do we start?
Well, we're going to start, we've prepped everything, everything's been washed, and we've kind of started getting going this morning. So we're gonna start with our dessert because they have to chill. We have started with these carrot truffles, and they are just a few simple ingredients. A carrot, which we have chopped, some fresh medjool dates that have been pitted, and you can buy them already pitted or you can pit them yourself, but these big fat juicy ones are the best. And then we are going to add in some nuts and seeds. You can use a variety, but today we're adding pumpkin seeds and chia seeds, and we're putting it all in the food processor together, zhuzhing it up, and then rolling them into balls, which Ruben has been doing this morning already. And then optionally, you can either just leave them like they are, or you can roll them. We have some hemp powder. You can roll them in that so that they kind of have that cocoa powder truffle feel. You could roll them in your favorite protein powder, in your favorite other like mixed nut, or you could even do a coconut if that's your jam. I don't like the texture of coconut too much, but it can be anything you want, but it's just simply that, and there's literally no added sugar or anything that's got a preservative in it. So the dates give you the natural sugar, the carrots also do, and give you that moisture. So it's just a simple, put it in the food processor. We have this fancy little Black & Decker number. We've just been whizzing them in, so I will continue to finish this one, and then Ruben can make more of those balls. And you can see, I don't know if you can see on that, but as it starts to clump together, it will kind of just start to make its own, I don't know, let me get this thing off, texture to come together. So really super simple.
And in this, I see that you got oatmeal, you got carrots, and you got the chia seed and all this.
Thank you.
And I was wondering when I saw you put all that oatmeal in here and how we were going to make a ball, and I said, where's the moisture come from? And then, of course, the dates and the carrots make the moisture, and it makes it into a nice little round ball.
Correct.
Okay.
And I forgot about the oats.
I was trying to figure all that out when you said we're going to roll this in here, and it's the moisture from the carrots and the dates.
Yes. And these are like nutritional powerhouses. And they're a great source of fiber. It's a fiber alert because dates are great sources of fiber, and also, of course, the oats. Very heart healthy as well.
Very healthy, plus,
they're
like
delicious.
I say, they're great. They taste great.
Yeah, so they're a great snack. We're gonna just roll a few of these up and stick them in the fridge, and then that will be our dessert for later.
No sugar.
Yeah, the dates are a natural form of sugar. And they're plenty sweet, right?
Yep.
I made him taste them earlier.
That's the first one that she made me taste one. I was anxious about it, so they were sweet enough. Plenty of sweet,
So
considering you're not putting any sugar in it.
Right. I will be happy to share the actual recipe of this, but it's literally 1 carrot. Organic is preferred if you have that available. 3/4 of a cup of dates, a cup of oats, and then 2 tablespoons of whatever mixed seeds and nuts you're using. And like I said, today we're using pumpkin seeds and chia seeds. And that is it. And then whirl it up. And then roll it in whatever you want. If you want to use your favorite protein powder, or like I am using today, some hemp powder. I will say the hemp makes it a little more earthy tasting. Yes. If that's not your jam, then maybe don't.
Well, it's good. It was good.
It's
That's
different.
the when I ate without the hemp, and then other than the first thing, it was a more earthy taste. Of course, where does truffles come from? Even though we're making truffles and not getting the real, but they come from the ground. So hey, the hemp makes it taste earthy. Makes it like the real thing.
Right, truffles and truffles. There's 2 different.
Truffles and truffles.
There's 2 different kinds of truffles. So the candy or the sweet truffles are some chocolates that are melded together and then rolled in cocoa powder. That's like a dessert truffle. And then there's the truffle mushroom that is foraged, typically in Italy, that is shaved over the top, which is a more earthy feeling. So yeah.
Okay.
Fun. All the news. So we're going to make one.
We're learning about truffles, or really learning about all this good food that we're going to eat after a while. Now, Brandy, you had me roll up all these truffles.
Yes.
Now, what are we going to do with them?
We are going to slide this tray into the fridge and let it be chilling until we're ready to eat after a while.
And we have some with the hemp, and then just regular.
Right.
So, okay.
Yeah. So
in the fridge,
Yep.
and then we're right. Can you open?
This one?
Either one. They're hard to open. These are hard.
Okay.
Okay. We've got those chilling.
If we were going to chill them for very long, we might put plastic wrap over them not to dry out.
Yep.
But we're going to be eating them within a little while, so
okay,
not
so
a big deal.
now we got that done because we need to because they had to get chilling. So what's next?
Next, we're going to kind of prep our ingredients for our risotto, for our main star of the show. And it is going to be a butternut squash risotto. This is a huge butternut squash, beautiful. They're not always this big, so I was able to just buy 2 of these to feed. We're going to feed 12 people today. We're not just making a show. So I have already chopped and prepped one of those, and they're ready to go into the oven. And we're going to practice chopping this butternut squash because it's kind of intimidating. It's heavy, it's thick, the skin is really thick, and you have to have a sharp knife and a little bit of muscle. So you and I are going to do this. Have you ever cut one before?
No.
So
okay, so we're
so
gonna
how I would typically start is just to give a straight cut right here below the stem.
Okay,
and then same at the bottom so that we have a flat base. And then we're going to cut it into half. And when you cut it into half, you'll see that it has seeds inside.
Okay.
And then we're going to scoop out the seeds. And if we were being really productive, we could save the seeds and roast them and use those in our next batch of carrot balls. That would be a good thing to do with that. But today, we're probably just going to discard those seeds. So.
Okay, so
Yes. Very good. Opposite end, same thing. Just thinly, just to get it a flat base. Yeah, muscle.
Muscle.
Great. All right, perfect. So you can see, even this one, the seeds are really down low at the end. So now just cut it in half down the center. Now. Finally, we have success. Our butternut squash is into 2 pieces, and we still have all of our fingers.
Yes,
right?
we got all our fingers.
So we're gonna take a spoon and just kind of scrape into that seeded area and just pull it right on out. Like I said, you could save these seeds and do some good stuff with it, but today we don't have time. So we're gonna, I mean, if you wanna save them and take them home and put them in your smoothie tomorrow, you could do that.
I might. we got time for that.
All right, so there's that one.
Okay.
And then here's this one. Now, there's a couple different takes on how to cut it from here. Some people like to peel it, but the skin is edible.
That's what I was going to ask. Were we going to peel this or just leave it like
we're going to leave it like it is.
Okay.
Because we're going to roast it at a high temperature, and it will just become kind of part of it and buttery. If you felt like the skin was exceptionally thick, you could definitely, or some people just prefer not to have the skin on their squash. So I'm fine with eating it. It's organic. We've washed it. It's clean. It's going to get roasted beyond that. So I say let's just go with it.
Okay.
All right. So let's take a little paper towel and get rid of these guys. And I will lead the way.
Okay.
All right. So I kind of like to take little half moons and just go across.
Like that?
Let's just take that one slice for now.
Okay.
And then we'll go take it into little triangles. These are not my knives, so I'm going to be extra super duper careful.
You want this one?
No, I'm good.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Triangle.
You know, real chefs carry their knives with them.
You're right. Hey.
I did not. Yeah.
You know, I used to keep, not that I'm a real chef, but because I cook a lot, I used to carry my, when I go places, hunting camp, different places.
Yeah.
I carry pans, I carry
matters.
everything, seasoning, just keep it all in the truck because
Yeah.
I'm always cooking, so I have it. I like to, like you said, I like to use my knife.
Right.
All right, now what?
So you've got.
I cut it wrong.
No, you're fine. This is fine. This is a more rustic chop. And we're going to maybe make those just a tiny bit smaller so that we want everything to be the same size.
Okay.
When we roast it, we don't want them to be too small of a dice, but, you know, a chewy good bite.
Yep.
So in another life, I am a licensed cosmetologist, so I cut things for a living. So I'm, you know,
Okay.
like a little bit precision is my
Well, see,
factor here.
I was trying to cut it into small pieces.
Yeah.
But
No, it's good.
okay, she's not going to
your
get on to
first
me
time.
too hard. It's
your first time.
Okay, I'm going to use that as excuse. It's my first time.
So just do it however works best for you. I just find
No, I
that
will
the
do it.
kind of rhythm of this.
Yes, I got you.
Yeah.
I got this one. We can learn. And then where does the risotto come in?
Well, we're going to do it last because it's best served fresh. So the risotto, for people that don't know what risotto is a creamy rice dish that is based in Italy. And it's kind of a labor of love because you have to tend to it constantly while it's cooking. And the result is a nice, creamy, delicious dish. But we're going to do it very last, and then we're going to add this back into the rice once it's all done. So once we cook the rice, then before we serve it, we will add the roasted butternut squash when we add the final touches of cheese and butter.
Okay.
Which brings me to plant-based versus vegetarian
Let me ask
versus...
you, okay, explain out, how did you get into this type of eating, or I guess you call it eating, or cooking? No, let's just say, how did you get into wanting to cook plant-based or vegetarian? And
Well, I've always been drawn to more vegetables. Well, when I was a child, I was really picky and, only ate tacos and spaghetti, whatever, like a regular kid. Peanut butter sandwiches a lot. But once I started exploring tastes and flavor profiles a little bit more, I was always a little more drawn to the creativity that could come with vegetables and fruits and how you can make them taste like other things and taste good. So I've kind of always explored that. A funny story is when I first got married, like probably the second week we were married, on Monday, my husband came home from work and I was so proud of my dinner, and it was stuffed pasta shells with all this ricotta cheese and beautiful pasta sauce that it was baked. And he came home, and we were sitting down to dinner, and he was eating it, and he was seemingly, enjoying it a little, and he kind of was pushing it around his plate a little bit, and he was like, I'm not trying to be critical, but where's the meat? And I was like, it's Meatless Monday. What do you mean? And it was just a new concept to him. At my house, we had Meatless Mondays a lot. We had a lot of different, vegetarian option foods. My mom is a very creative cook at home also. So it was just a new concept to him, which fast forward about 20 years into marriage, his doctor diagnosed him with high blood pressure. And all of a sudden, we come into, oh my gosh, we don't really want to take a bunch of medicine, and we're going to have to make some diet and lifestyle changes, and how does that look? And he ran across this book, How Not to Die, by Michael Greger, Dr. Michael Greger, and he devoured the book, and it's a great resource, basically talking about how our bodies are, made to ingest plants, and how we just don't get all of our nutrients from animals that we need to thrive, and how we can reduce a lot of our common ailments that we struggle with, especially here in America, this part of America, with the standard American diet, which also has an acronym of SAD, so look that up. So just to be able to help support his heart health journey, I started looking into adding more plants to our diet, and we kind of committed to adding, making our diet about 85% plants. Not completely cutting out meat, but it kind of transitioned that way to where we really enjoyed it. And he says often, like, if it tastes good, I'll eat it. So my quest is
to make it taste good,
and to make it pretty, and to make it appealing, and also be a healthy choice for us to achieve. So that happened about 10 years ago. Here, you're doing so good. You can finish that up for me. And to be honest, I didn't really know where to start at first either. And for a little while, we did the purple carrot home, like the delivery food box where they send you recipes and they send you the ingredients. Mm-hmm. And that's the one that Tom Brady endorses, the football player. Yeah. So that's pretty amazing that, big, strong men, and I'm also a yoga teacher, so, the vegan yoga, peace out, hippie thing, people always kind of give me crap about that. But it's not all about animal rights and activism, but I will admit I have become more aware of it. And now, at least if I do eat an animal, I think I'm a little more mindful of it and where it's sourced from and how it's treated and all that before that all comes down.
Looks like to me you've been on a long journey to get to where we are today.
Yeah.
And that's great. And I was wondering where Kendall came into this picture, because Kendall's my size.
Believe me, yeah. And everybody's kind of like,
so
what? But he will be the first to tell you that it works for him. His health is a lot better since we started eating this way. And he'll tell me every now and then, because, it's tempting, especially during barbecue season, to drift off into burgers and steaks and grilled fish and everything. And sometimes we have a little more of that, and he can tell by the way he feels that he says, I just do better when we eat more plants. And I do too, I get it.
I got to tell a funny story now, just now remembered this.
Okay.
They know I tell stories funny all the time, but I didn't know it till I asked you about that you was a plant-based person. And guess what? Being the barbecuer that I am, and at the time, Randy did my hair sometime. And anyway, I always give folks Boston butts. What do? I bring her. She didn't make any comments. She just took the Boston butt, and I'm sure she gave it away but she said it was good. And it just now it only dawned on me when I asked you about coming, and you said, "Well, I'm gonna do plant-based." Okay,
yeah,
that's a true story. But not knowing.
That's a good example, though, of it's we can learn from each other and how I mean, I'm open to, I love everything. I love everything. I'm just trying to strive toward eating more plants and just to be mindful about it all.
Okay, now we got the butternut squash cut like we wanted it. Now what's next?
Now we are going to drizzle it with extra virgin olive oil. And then I love this stuff. It's just called Nature Season. It's salt, pepper, garlic. There's a lot of varieties of it, but we're using about a tablespoon. You can eyeball that. Just a little big drizzle, and then shake, 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 and then we'll massage all of that together. That's enough.
Okay.
Yep, hit me again. Good, tiny bit more. Yeah, okay.
I thought you said a little bit more.
I took a cooking class in Santorini, Greece one time.
Yes, and what they teach?
We made tomato fritters. And the lady I took the class from did not speak much English, and my Greek is pretty bad, yeah.
No, okay.
But the thing that she kept saying when we were making these fritters, I was her assistant. I was helping her put the flour to make the fritters, and she kept saying, by the eye, by the eye. So like when your eye says it's right, then it's right. So yeah, by the eye. Great. So we're gonna pop these in the oven for, like I said, about 30 minutes, and we have it set to 400 degrees.
Yep.
And you can do this ahead of time. You could even do it like a day ahead of time.
For this?
Yeah, and put it in the fridge because we're just going to add it to the end
And it
to
warms
stir
back
it in.
up and
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are we going to chop up next?
So now we're going to focus on our kale salad.
Kale salad, okay.
Kale salad. So,
Tell me what to do. I'm a chopper.
okay.
My wife says
well,
that she lets me chop up everything because she doesn't cook. I just chop.
you're a
I like
chopper, but
Small,
are
I chop small.
you a stripper?
No. You got to tell me what I got to do. Strip it, I will.
You got to strip it.
Okay, no.
You got to be a stripper.
Not a
so,
chopper.
I got
Okay.
you, didn't I?
You got me. You got me.
So we're gonna strip the kale.
Okay.
Hang on to the stem, pull your, And we're not gonna get rid of these stems just yet because I am gonna use them to flavor the water that we're gonna put the risotto in.
Okay.
It won't give it much flavor. It might give it some green color, but it's just gonna add a few more nutrients that we don't wanna lose. So we're gonna
we
hang
got
on
to
to
have
those.
a different
Where's our
bowl.
big silver bowl that we got right here in front?
Okay, that's right. We're going to use this.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, take your stem out of your kale. You can kind of get it started, and then just strip it through. And you can have the stem down toward the tip, but this tough, rooty end you want to get rid of. So it's not very easily digestible. And it looks like we have a ton of kale over there. Yeah, good job. See, you are a stripper.
Okay. Okie
I think kale gets a bad rap sometimes because it is kind of tough and fibrous.
Well, I don't know that it's tough, but sometimes, the kale, I like kale, and I eat kale from the store, but kale has like a bitter taste to it. To
Okay,
me.
well, I'm going to
Tell
help
me
you
about
out.
it.
I'm going to help you out with that.
Okay.
First of all, let's identify this kale. This
Okay.
is called lacinato, and I hope I pronounced that correct. Also sometimes known as dinosaur kale. It's my favorite kind of kale.
Okay.
If you look at its texture, it kind of looks like the dinosaur back. So this kale, you could also use the curly kale. It's all, your preference. But I find this one's a little milder and a little more tender. But the key to a good kale dish is something else that I do for my career, which is massage. I'm a massage therapist, and therefore, massaging your kale comes pretty natural to me. But the reason that we massage the kale, and we're just literally going to squeeze it, break it down, is because it starts to tenderize it and break it down and make it have a little sweeter taste and helps bring out the chlorophyll in the plant. And it's tough, it's hardy. We can do this now and eat in 3 hours, it's gonna be fine. So the main thing about kale, I think a lot of people just get it and they're like, well, what do I do with this? If they eat the stem, it's tough and hard to digest. It is a cruciferous vegetable, so it does help detoxify your system. And you know what that means.
Yeah,
Too much roughage.
Too much roughage.
We don't want that.
I thought we were supposed to have
Fiber
roughage.
alert. Yeah.
Roughage is supposed to be good.
So,
That's what I always heard.
so you gotta strip it and massage it.
And
Okay.
That's
Right?
the problem. I've
That's-
never massaged it.
That's right. That's what it takes. So for the additions to this salad, we're gonna dice up slice up thinly some red onion and some bell peppers. And then my favorite part of this dish is an oil-free dressing made with 3 ingredients. And
Oil-free dressing.
oil-free dressing, because we know oil sometimes causes an inflammatory response in people's bodies. So some people try to avoid all of the oils.
Okay.
And they're also a high source of fat. So we're gonna make our own dressing, and it's a simple 3-2-1 dressing. And it literally is 3 parts of balsamic vinegar, any will do, 2 parts of a Dijon mustard, and we got Grey Poupon today, and 1 part of maple syrup. So again, the maple syrup's gonna give it kind of the sweet, the vinegar of that, and then the Dijon gives it the creamy weight of it. And it's perfect for this kale salad.
Randy, you've
So-
had me strip it, massage it.
Yes.
So what's next? Now what are we
Yeah,
going to do?
you're doing a great job massaging that. And if you can see, it's getting a little bit darker green in color, and it's a little more soft, a little less
Looks-
serious.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're just gonna, you can keep massaging that a little bit. I'm gonna start slicing up some of the other things we're gonna add to it. And then I'll make the dressing, and then we can set it aside because it's pretty tough. Like, it's gonna be okay to just hang out and chill while we start the risotto. Good, so I like a red bell pepper in there for some color. I think it's important to, you know, my mom always says you eat with your eyes first.
Yes.
So everything has to be pretty.
Yes.
And not just on your plate, but you know, in the preparation of it as well. And I'm kind of good with big pieces of peppers in this salad. Sometimes we, you know, might make them smaller, but it's a pretty chunky, hearty salad. So we're just gonna stick with that. I'm really impressed with your massage skills.
Okay.
And then a thinly sliced red onion. You like red onions?
I like them.
So yeah, now we are gonna do some little
you want-
cherry
you want-
tomatoes. You wanna have those, and I'll work on the dressing?
Yep. You want me to have them? Oh, I love
Have
it.
them
Yep,
or
I got it.
third them, whatever you're.
You want them long way, short way?
I don't
Which way?
care.
All right. I'm good at
Ruben's
this.
choice. Ruben's
Okay.
choice. Okay, we're gonna work on this dressing.
Okay.
I'm gonna reach behind you. So we're gonna go balsamic, Grey Poupon.
Great.
And-
Poupon. What was the joke about?
Pardon
Who-
me.
I got my Poupon. What is it? What was the TV? What did
No.
they were in the car, you know.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
my
in-
Grey
they said,
Poupon or
pardon
something.
me, would you happen to have any Grey Poupon?
There you go. That's what they said.
I think something like that. First one is the balsamic vinegar. There's, I might need help getting this off. There's a lot of different varieties of balsamic that they are made in Italy. I have a friend that is a wine and food tour giver in Florence, Italy. Shout out to Tony. And she taught me more than I will ever remember about balsamic vinegars and how, you know, there's a lot of philosophies about where the ones come from, and yeah, it's pretty interesting how people can snob out about anything.
Well,
So we did 3 parts of that, and now we're doing 2 parts of the Dijon, and then we're gonna do 1 part of maple syrup. And it's important to use real maple syrup.
syrup.
Yeah, not like the kind that you just get for your pancakes. It's called a 3-2-1 dressing simply because we're 3 parts, 2 parts, 1 part. But the parts that don't ever get counted are salt and pepper, so that's kind of to taste. And I'm just gonna reach back into my old trusty natures because it's a blend of it all. Just a tiny bit of that. So just for reference, for this much kale, which is a lot, I did tablespoons, 2 sets of this dressing for that much kale. So if you're just having a little bit on your own, start with like a teaspoon. No, not at all.
Really?
And then right before we serve it, I would say let's add some avocado.
Yep.
But I don't want to add that now because you're going to squish it to heck. And we're
No,
not
I'm
making
gonna
guac.
squish it. I'm not.
Right. So the last thing we'll do is add some avocado before we
See now,
serve it. Yeah, look how green your hand is.
Perfect. Now I'm good with it.
Yeah.
You got me peeling these garlic. This garlic also?
These are shallots.
Shallots, okay.
Do you know what a shallot is?
No,
Okay.
I thought it was garlic.
So a shallot is an onion that has a milder onion flavor that has a little more garlicky flavor. So it's a mild onion. In a traditional risotto, we use a shallots and garlic, and they get sauteed in some sort of fat. Now, if you are a complete vegan and you're not doing any dairy or animal products at all, then you would probably strictly use olive oil or some sort of plant-based butter, which I don't like. I feel like just olive oil is okay, but personally, I prefer to have just a little bit of butter, or even more preferred, ghee. Do you know about ghee?
Ghee?
Ghee is G-H-E-E. This is ghee.
Ghee, I've seen it, don't
Yeah.
know nothing about it.
So ghee is a form of clarified butter. So here's a stick of, I'm gonna only use Kerrygold grass-fed butter because it's the best. And then ghee is a version of butter that's been clarified down so all the solids are left and the fat is the only thing that's left. So it's like a concentrated, rich, yummy. Okay, well, we have these shallots and garlic chopped. I'm happy with this amount. We have one left over, but I feel like this is a good amount. So the next step that we are at is we're getting ready to saute the garlic and the shallots in the ghee. And we have our stock pot.
G, where's the G?
G,
I want to
G.
show G.
It's in
G.
the fridge.
Oh,
It's
oh.
G-H-E-E, and it's
Yeah, G.
pronounced ghee.
Ghee, okay, I'm sorry. I'm saying G. Ghee.
Ghee, like
We're using ghee.
Yes.
For butter.
Clarified butter.
Yeah.
You can also use butter. You can also use olive oil, but that's what we're using today.
Okay, we're using ghee.
Ghee.
Right. Now,
In the stock pot, I have the stems of the kale that you stripped, and a little of this better than bouillon. And I typically use the roasted vegetable kind, but I couldn't find it. So this is the roasted garlic broth base. I'm sure it'll be fabulous because more garlic is always better. So that's what's simmering here. And then I've got the ghee melted, and we're going to saute the shallots and garlic. And it's on a low heat. So we're just I'm gonna let you
want
carry
me to
that
do
over,
this?
yeah. We're just gonna let it kind of come together nicely on a low heat and start to just soften and become more translucent. So we are sauteing the shallots and the garlic. We have plenty of garlic because it's so good. All right, so we're done with that. And I'm just gonna stand here. So for me, risotto is kind of like a standing meditation. It's very therapeutic to just literally stand and stir. You want all of those little nuggets of garlic and shallot to get covered in whatever oil or butter or ghee that you're using.
while we're discussing this and we're fixing to cook the risotto, let's go through this risotto that we got.
Types of rice.
Types of rice that we got here. Do you want to zoom in on this so we can look at this? Because we have the jasmine, medium grain, and then we have the
Arborio.
arborio.
It's a short, fat grain.
Okay, short fat grain that does not grow in the United States.
Right. So we got short, medium, long.
Short, medium, long.
Right.
And now, me and Brandy we've been in a big discussion at the beginning of this show because I'm a firm believer of local Martin rice. Been using Martin, and we got some medium grain, and also we got the jasmine. But Randy prefers the
arborio. Yeah.
Rice
Short,
because it's
fat.
the best. That's for the best for
This
the
dish.
risotto.
Yes.
So that's what we're going to use. You can use. She tried this. It works good, but she prefers the arborio.
Right. It's
Go ahead.
Yeah.
You spoke now.
I mean, just to be pure about the dish that we're creating, the arborio rice is the preferred rice for a risotto because of its high starch content, and it becomes more creamy and it's just made for this dish. The medium grain worked because it's a shorter length and it does have a higher starch content than the jasmine, but it was just a little more like a pilaf or more like an individual grain in your mouth, whereas the shorter grain becomes a little more tender and kind of creamier.
Okay,
where
creamier, kind of like I'm not going to
like
say
a
mashed
oatmeal
potatoes,
kind
but
of
yeah,
dish.
okay.
So,
okay.
and you can also use other grains in a risotto, like quinoa can be odoed. You can do quinoto, anything basically where you're cooking it by fattening it up with a liquid. So the jasmine doesn't work because it's a long, skinny grain, and it's great for other things, but it does not work for a risotto because it doesn't absorb that
Moisture.
liquid.
Okay.
Right. The next step that we'll do is to add the rice, and then let the rice kind of toast in with the onions and garlic. So once that kind of sits and gets a little bit of a toast on it, then we'll splash it with some white wine. And I like to sip a little bit of white wine while I'm cooking.
To sip a little bit.
So this is a nice white that is actually from Italy. It's an Orvieto white that I got in Cape at Schnucks, a recommendation by the wine guy at the store. And we talked a lot about the different minerals and acidity levels of different levels of white wine. Italy's most famous for its red, but if I'm on task and want to keep it Italian, since we're floating across the pond, then I love to use a white Orvieto in this dish. If not, if you don't have a white from Italy, a Sauvignon Blanc or a really buttery Chardonnay from California works really well too. So yeah, if you like to drink it, it'll be good in your risotto. Yeah, that's nice. All right.
It's nice.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So we're ready to add the rice. And as you can see, this is kind of reduced and it's kind of gotten thicker and yummy, creamier to the sides. So we're gonna just pour in the rice all the way around. This is a really big pan. And like I said, we're making a lot. So we're gonna try to just get all of those grains covered in that little bit of ghee or moisture. And then we're just gonna kind of let it sit. It's really tempting to touch it, but we'll want it to get a little bit of a toast, and that just brings out the nutty flavor of the rice. So as we start to smell that toast and see a little bit of color on those white pillows, now it's time to add the wine. You don't have to use wine if you don't want to. You can always just use more broth. But the wine just gives it a little extra different flavor, different depth. And I'm not gonna measure it, I'm just gonna go one time around, and that's gonna, start to soak it up. So that's really all it takes. About 1/4 cup is all I use for that. And then once that risotto starts to absorb the wine, you're done with the wine and you can drink the rest of it.
Okay.
So as you can see, it's starting to dry out. It's not wet anymore from the wine. So now it's time to start adding some of this liquid. So this is just a gentle, we're gonna take the ladle, bring it over. I usually do 2 ladlefuls at a time, and then go back in, And all we're doing is stirring, stirring, stirring until that gets absorbed. It's not evaporating, it's absorbing into those little grains. So as we stir, we keep it on about a 4 to 4.5 on the stove. If you see that it's starting to stick or be, burn at all, definitely turn your heat down. So we're about halfway through this labor of love. And we decided to compromise a little.
We compromised.
And
Brandy compromised just for me. And
we're going to do 2 batches. Reuben is working on the medium grain local rice, just to compare. Because, hey, every day is a school day.
Yeah, so we're comparing, and we compromised, because because local, we're here local, and local chefs,
And it's
Randy
a
and
good
I,
thing.
and then local, this is grown here by Martin Rice, and so.
Yeah, we're just going to compare
We're going to compare the taste, and I keep getting my pan off the
Yeah,
the
we're
burner.
in close quarters on this tight
Tight
cooktop.
stove, yeah.
But as you can see, my risotto is about halfway there. It's kind of a thicker, creamier, those pillows are starting to fill up a little bit more with that liquid. At this point, I'm ready to add a little more liquid. So again, this is just broth. You can use veggie broth, chicken broth if that's your thing. I put the stems of the kale in here just for a few added nutrients, because why not? And so I do 2 ladlefuls and then stir. Reuben is about ready for some more, so I'm gonna help him out.
So my wine's
Bring
gone
it
now.
over. Yeah, we already wined him up. Pull it back. Stay on your circle, man.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Boy,
I know.
I keep pushing.
So now we're both doing the thing. This is the labor of love. You don't have to do an arm workout. You can skip arm day on risotto day, right?
Yep.
So,
Slow process,
yeah,
I say.
but it comes together quickly once it starts to cook, and it's really beautiful to see that grain start to absorb the liquid, whatever grain you're using. Yeah.
Yes.
The more you stir it, the thicker it gets, the slower your spoon goes through it. Yeah.
And I can see the difference in the real
In the grains?
In the grain,
Yeah.
yes. And I can see that. Okay.
Okay.
What's next? We got.
Yeah.
I got my rice, my compromised rice, and
Your
we got
medium
the
grain,
medium
yeah.
grain, and we got the
Arborio.
arborio
Yes.
rice.
So I have completed the addition of all the broth into this arborio rice. And as you can see, it's like yum, thick, creamy. It almost looks like mashed potatoes. It's so good. All of that starch in the arborio rice has absorbed the liquid and turned it bigger and fatter and more pillowy than ever, and it's beautiful. And now to finish this, I'm gonna go back with my original butter. So we're done with the ghee, we sauteed in that, but we're just gonna add a pat of butter, take it off the heat completely. Yep, so off about a tablespoon, I mean, depending on how much butter or rice you're making. And then we're also just gonna add a good generous handful of Parmesan cheese, because everything is better with cheese. So that is it with the risotto. As it is just a basic risotto. The heat is off. We're melting the butter, we're melting the cheese. And then
what about my
you get some butter too.
I get some butter. Don't leave me out.
There's your cheese. Not as much cheese.
Not as much cheese. Okay.
This is at the point where you can do anything. You could eat it like this, and it's heaven. Or you could add whatever vegetable you're adding to it. Or if you have a choice of a protein, this is really nice with a piece of grilled fish, if you choose to do that. Or even some really nice light sauteed shrimp or crawfish. You could definitely add that to this. But I prefer it with the veggies. So we're gonna just
look how nice mine's
Yeah,
looking.
yeah.
Oh, look at this.
It's
And
really-
medium grain.
it's
see?
really interesting to
Yes.
see the comparison between
Yes.
the short grain and the medium grain that
It
we
is.
did.
It's filled up and it's looking like mashed potatoes. Oh, I come
Yeah.
on in here.
You learned something today.
I learned
didn't you?
something today. Now, I tell you what, this labor of love is I've been stirred for almost an
30
hour.
minutes, yeah, at least.
Almost an hour. I've
Yeah.
been stirring.
If you have tennis elbow, this is not the dish for you.
Okay, we got this.
All right, you ready
now
to
what?
add some butternut squash?
Yes.
Okay, can you reach over
Yes,
and
I got it.
grab?
I got this. All
that
right.
down. All right, we're just gonna, I put my butternut squash on parchment paper because, I mean, who likes to do dishes? And then you can just shimmy it in there and this goes to the trash. We're gonna do
How
two
much you want me
more-
to?
I want,
You're gonna do 2, aren't you?
yeah.
All
We're
right.
doing a lot of butternut squash in this.
Yeah, we
I
want.
just
Yeah.
think it's great.
All right.
And then we're gonna put,
I'm
you
gonna
know
get
what?
one of these in mine.
Okay.
How's that?
Yeah, then we have one pan left over for either us to just munch on, or it would also be delicious tossed with that kale salad. I think it would be really amazing just for a addition that we hadn't really planned on or thought about. Or you can stick that in the fridge and use it for another dish later down the week. All about meal planning so we can eat healthy throughout the week. And as this all comes together, see that cheese pull, that stringiness, oh my gosh, so good. It smells amazing in here. Yours looks good too.
Well, it's coming along.
Yeah.
It's
So-
coming along.
Of course, your heat is off during all of this time because we're just incorporating all of it together. And then once we have all the squash and the risotto stirred together, we're gonna add some fresh chopped parsley and some fresh chopped basil because it's beautiful. And I also, just because we had a little extra spare time, crisped up some sage leaves. Sage and butternut squash go lovely together, and so you can just literally fry some sage leaves in butter. Like, I know it's vegetarian, but it's an indulgent meal. This is it, man.
What about this right here?
We're gonna plate it up. Yeah, a little lemon zest, very lightly zested in there. We don't have an actual super zester, so just be gentle. Yeah, there you go. That'll work. Perfect. And then I'm gonna grab some of that fresh parsley and basil. So our entire meal today is plant forward. We do have some animal products with the butter and ghee and cheese, but we are primarily plants and happy about it,
Happy.
right?
Yeah.
Happy about
Happy
it.
about happy to eat.
Yes. So it's been lovely cooking with you today,
I
Ruben.
appreciate you coming and doing this because
Yeah.
this is something that I knew nothing about,
Yeah.
and now I do, and now I know how to. If I wanted to make a risotto, I
Yeah.
can.
You want to
And-
dress yours?
Yeah, okay, of course.
Of course.
I like mine to look nice. Brandy, we got everything done, and now this is what we always been waiting for, is the taste shot. We got the plate ready, and we got Philip. He's my taster. Has always been. He's gonna be ready to taste what we produced here, and let's see what he
Hi,
says.
Philip.
Okay, Philip,
Shall
go
I
ahead. Tell him
we
what you
have?
got. Tell him what you've cooked.
So today we made you a kale salad with avocado, tomato, bell peppers, and a simple 3-2-1 dressing, which is balsamic vinegar, Dijon mustard, and maple syrup.
Okay.
And then we have a butternut squash risotto with a roasted garlic base. And the butternut squash was seasoned and roasted prior to with salt, pepper, and garlic. And then we've finished it with some crispy fried sage and parsley and some fresh basil. And then for dessert, some carrot truffles, which are simply carrots, dates, oats, and some various nuts and seeds.
Sounds amazing.
Great,
Sounds
enjoy.
amazing. All right.
Okay,
Well, let's try it out.
that's what we want.
We'll start with the salad. Very light, crispy. The dressing is really good. It's not overpowering. Kale sometimes is, but it's not. Very good.
Thank you.
Let's try that. I love risotto. So
Oh.
let's see where we're at.
Yeah.
Mmm. Yeah, that's wonderful.
Thank you.
I tell you what, I'm gonna try that dessert in a minute, but I was telling you earlier that my son has been vegetarian, was vegetarian for years. So we went to Philadelphia several times when he was there, and I've eaten in some amazing vegan vegetarian restaurants, and this is as good as anything I've had.
Wow, thank you.
It's amazing.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much.
You.
All right,
That-
we'll
all
try the
brandy.
Oh, very good. I love dates. That's kind of the base that I taste, but everything with it's amazing. So
Great.
I recommend it all.
Yay.
Good job.
Good, good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you. Well, okay, we're gonna wrap this up. Brandy,
right.
appreciate you. Thanks
Hey,
for
it's
coming.
my
and
pleasure,
doing-
Reuben.
doing, and for you folks out there that's gonna be watching this, I hope you enjoyed this meal today. Hope you learned something about plant-based like I did. I learned different types of rice. And also, as I always say, if you want to be on my show, you got something special, call me, 870-830-4786. You can either be a taster or you can be a cook if you'd like. And with that, hope to see you next time.
Thanks, Reuben.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Later. Till next time.